Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2, but today we're going to be checking out episode 10. And last time, on episode 9, there's not much that I really need to go over about episode 9 because, like I said last time, it was a pretty straightforward set, with admittedly a few very wholesome moments in there. Basically, we got to see a bit of Miko's over-exaggerative imagination. Kage attempted to use the power of routine in order to stay calm around Miyuki, and Ishigami joined the cheer squad. A pretty diverse group of segments, to be sure. Probably the most interesting of them was Ishigami joining the cheer squad because, you know, through cheer squad shenanigans, they decided it would be a fun idea if the boys and the girls swapped uniforms, so Ishigami had to find somebody to trade with. And since he doesn't have too many friends, that limited him to the girls in the student council, and there's not that many in there either. Miko is obviously not going to work. Never. Fujiwara probably would have worked, although she would have insulted him at the same time without a doubt. But that left him with Kaguya, and he thought that Kaguya wasn't really a good shot, but surprisingly, she was all for it. She even helped him apply some makeup to complete the look. But it seems like they're setting up a bit of an arc for Ishigami involving a sports festival that's going to be going down, and I'm all for that. More Ishigami characterization is always a good thing. Also, apparently, I noticed this, I just didn't make any note of it because I thought it was a mistake or something, but the first segment in the last episode was called "And So Ishigami Yu Closed His Eyes, Part 2, which is curious because Ishigami wasn't even in that segment. I mean, not really, outside of Miko's fake flashbacks about him. And I don't recall there being a part 1 of that. Maybe there was and I just don't remember, but So yeah, like I said, not much to go over. So, what do you say we just get started with episode 10? And now, the relationship chart between Kaguya and the Shiraganes for dummies. Here we go. She finds him annoying, and as her brother, he's worried. That's about right. She admires Kaguya. He wants to make her confess, although he doesn't really try very often at that, just every now and again, not as often as she used to. He finds her interesting. He finds her Miyuki's dad finds his daughter scary. And she tells him to separate the laundry. That's the only thing she thinks about him. To separate the laundry. Wonderful. He thinks Miyuki's a child, when, I don't know, the dude's pretty mature for the most part in a lot of ways. And he wants him to just stop it already. And what's interesting about this chart is that it doesn't say how Kaguya feels about any of them, only how they feel about her and each other. Maybe it's because it goes both ways. Like it's, the arrows should be, pointing in both directions. The only stretch there is I don't know if she finds Miyuki's dad interesting. Anyway, about the episode itself, we learned that Miyuki's sister, Kei, is kinda lashing out against him for being an overprotective brother. You know how it is. He just keeps kinda getting on her case about doing everything the right way, and naturally that's gonna cause a little bit of anger. It's natural. Even if at heart he is just doing it because he cares. Also, we learned that their dad is going through some rough times, apparently. He can't keep a steady job, his wife left him, and he can't even sign the divorce papers because he refuses to move on, because he still loves her. Dang, man. But hey, at least in the end, Kei managed to work through all of her stuff a little bit, and gave Miyuki the advice that he needed, that perhaps Kaguya is just nervous and embarrassed. Then in the next segment we learned yet another thing that Miyuki just is not innately good at, which is dancing. Soran Bushi, I believe is what they call it. But they changed up the formula a little bit, and Fujiwara, stayed true to what she said earlier and that she was not gonna help him again. She did try to help him a little bit here, but then she gave up right when he started to resist a little bit. But I like just how freaking immediately jealous she got when he started getting help from Kaguya instead. She's like, oh, I see how it is, so right when I'm gone, you just go right to Kaguya, and it's like, come on, Fujiwara. You left him on his own. You can't get all upset when he starts going to somebody else for assistance. Because it's clear that he can't do this kind of thing on his own. He's tried. And then the thing was that Kaguya and Fujiwara, their clashing, perspectives on this weren't really as clashing as you'd think, because like I was saying, you gotta use both of them. You gotta learn both styles in order to really get it down perfectly. In order for him to creatively express himself with it, he needs to learn how to do it properly first. You have to learn the basics of it, learn the form, and then apply your own personal flair. They were both right, they were just for whatever reason convinced that it was just one or the other. Although Kaguya's was more specifically just stick to mimicking it exactly and don't mix in your own stuff. And the next segment was interesting because we got to see a little bit of one Osaragi, Kobachi, which is good because she's mostly been in the background, but we saw a little bit more about what she thinks. She reiterated the point that we already knew about her, that she wants to uphold the rules just like Miko does. But then she laid down something interesting about Ishigami and his past, and it looked like things were pretty rough for him for a little bit there. During his third year of middle school, she says that he kinda stalked a girl he liked, and then when she was dating somebody else, he freaking beat the dude down. Now honestly, this reeks of a circumstance that has more context. Just in that little screenshot they showed, he looked pissed off. Like, it looked like something set him off to do that. And then the girl's off there in the corner covering her face like she's embarrassed. I think something went down, beyond just he decided to assault him for no apparent reason. But who knows? And then of course we saw Kobachi recognize that Miko and Ishigami, despite the fact that they don't get along, they do have some things in common. They both actually do care a lot about people doing what is right. And the two of them have stood up for each other frequently without the other one even knowing about it. Also, I would sincerely like to play this frickin' TRPG they've got, where they're just walking around the school campus with giant dice, trying to fight a dragon. That's like some kind of weird mix between a tabletop and LARPing. But I just can't resist the Mario Party style giant dice. They just make it look like a lot of fun. And then of course we got Miyuki's dad questioning Kaguya incognito, trying to make sure she doesn't find out who he is, and he did get some information out of her. Got her to basically confirm her feelings towards him, as he said. She didn't even really deny it. All she said was, "I'm not going to talk about this with you." But still, it was actually very embarrassing for the both of them, both Miyuki and Kaguya. They did not care for that. And poor Miyuki doesn't even know what he said. I'm sure his mind is racing with the possibilities. And lastly, it is very wholesome to see Ishigami out there, trying his best, doing well, not being persecuted left and right. I mean, we did get a little bit of that, people talking behind his back, and that one girl being like, "Man, I don't know how you go to school and act all normal after you did what you did." Like, does he look like he's fine going to school knowing that everybody's spreading these rumors behind his back? But fortunately, not everybody in there is being mean to him. Some of those other ones who are, leading the cheer squad here, they're like, "Hey, don't worry. He's in good hands. We got him." And man, I can really respect that. So yeah, all around, lots of good character stuff this episode, and definitely a few good laughs in there as well. I mean, Miyuki's monstrous flailing about is always entertaining. So for now, I guess that's it guys, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, subscribe to be updated on more, that'd be great. Next time, we got episode 11, which I believe is the penultimate episode of season 2, not counting the, OVA that's supposed to be between 2 and 3, I think, so. Anyway, either way, it's gonna be second to last, penultimate. We'll see exactly what they have in store for next time before we move on into the finale of season 2, and then we can head right in for season 3. But sincerely, I like this episode a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. But till we meet again, I will see you guys later!